Hello, you welcome everybody. My name is Franklin the Rest Lover. You are once welcome to my YouTube channel. Um, Today we are literally going to dive into my trading performance last week, how I performed last week, and I always do. I don't just share my trading performance with you. I share some trading nuggets with you that is also going to help spice up your trading processes. So I want you to stick to the end of the video, and if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, I'll recommend that you subscribe to my YouTube channel at the moment. Today is we are in a new week. I just literally woke up from bed, and I decided to do a quick video because I was supposed to do it last week. I was entirely super busy throughout the whole weekend. So let's stick to the video. Let's see what I have for you. I'm trying to be so real on my YouTube. See my face. Um, Now let's zoom into the video. What do I have for you? What do I have for you last week? Let's see the performance, how I performed in my trading journey last week, and along the line, I'm going to share the trading lessons I learned as well. So now let's zoom into the video. Last week was a super amazing week for me. It was an amazing week for me. Last week I took lesser trades than I did the previous week, and imagine last week too was we're in June. Last week, June 2 has been an amazing week for me. From the last week of May into June, I have made I've made serious percentage on my trading account, because from the last week of May I took a trade that gave me 4%. In June I took two trades, each one of them gave me 2%, and I took another trade on the Mexican peso as well. That trade also gave me about 1.5 to 2%. So that was literally a good month for me. And in July is also going to be an amazing month, super amazing month than the previous months. Okay, now let's zoom into the main video, the reason why we are here. I'm trying my possible best to make this video a very short video for everyone watching me at the moment. So now let's move into the video. The last week was an amazing week. To last week, 24th, Monday all the way on to Friday was 28th. I took only one trade on the CHF JPY. I took only one trade on the CHF JPY. Now, the reason why I took only one trade on the CHF JPY is one, we have had a very powerful movement from all the way down here to here where I took my second trade, and we have moved all the way here to the top here. Now, you know, one of my favorite ways of trading is when I have a target and I know where I'm going. If you know where you are going, then you know how to play your cards well. Now, let me show you what I mean over here. For instance, we are bullish, okay? We are bullish, we are going. Let's say we have something like this, and price has pulled down all the way here, and we are going back. Now, let me show you the target that I'm talking about. Now, this area becomes my target. This area becomes my target, and let's say I have an entry around this area, then I know I'm holding the entry to the liquidity point, which is my target, or which is going to be my target. Do you understand? But when it comes to CHF JPY over here, if you zoom or if you go into the higher time frames, you realize that even in the higher time frames we don't have a target. We literally don't have a target. The pair is just going up, and we don't know where it is going to. So when it happens that way, I have a way of trading the financial market. Okay, now you realize that. Let me show you something over here. Now on the 15 minutes time frame, this was how I was trading. You see that I entered the trade somewhere around here on Monday. Now, after I entered the trade here on Monday, you realize that the liquidity point is just this area. The target was just that area, and it was so short for me. Okay, it was so short for me. From my entry to the liquidity point was even less than 1%. So when it happens that way, I hope for more up trends, okay, so that we keep on going high. But nonetheless, I know that we have just the target closer to our entry. So when it happens that way, I just these trades becomes my B setups or my C setups. Okay, my A plus setups are the setups that I have a very my A plus setups are setups that I have. How do I put it? My A plus setups are the setups that I have room to run to my liquidity point. Okay, a very long run to my liquidity point. Then I look for a very good entry. Then I hold my position to the top there. But if it does not happen that way and it happens like this, you see, my entry to the liquidity point, which is the target, is very, very short. The distance is very, very short. So when it happens that way, I go in with lesser position. So with my A plus setups, I go in with 1.5% of my account or 1%. But with these trades, I go in with zero point 0.5 of my account or zero point 0.4 of my account. So this account was a zero point 0.5 account. So I entered this trade and I hope to break even when price touches here. But let's see the challenges this trade gave me along the line. Let me share the lesson over here with you. You know, one of the big things I have learned in trading, which Mark Douglas even talks about in his psychology book. If you haven't read that book and you're a trader, I don't know what you're doing. Search for that book and learn it. Mark Douglas, the title of the book is Trading in the Zone. Trading in the Zone. Trading in the Zone. So when I listened to that audio and when I read that audio, what I realized is that you don't need to know what the market will do next to make money. If you don't need to know what the market to do next to make money or to take a loss, then all you have to do is to look for your risk, calculate your risk, accept the risk that I'm putting $100 on this trade and accept it. If you accept it, if you accept it, then you know you can lose the trade or you can win the trade because we are playing the games of probability. Now, when I enter the trade, if you do not know what the trade is going to do next, or if you do not know what the market is going to do next, then let's see something over here. Now you see that when I entered the trade on Monday, this was my entry point around this area. This was my entry point around this area. Now, my stop loss was here exactly 59 pips, and the reason why I put it on 59 pips, when we jump into the lower time frames, you are going to see the reason why I did it 59 pips. Now let's see what the market did and let's see how the market behaved along the line. You realize that after I had entered the market around this particular point, now we entered into I think Tuesday and Wednesday, and let's see what the market did around this area. You see, it started pulling down. Now, if it was my old me, if it was the old me when I started trading earlier, the moment price starts coming closer to my stop loss, I will just close the trade and think that it will not run. But let's see what happened. It came all the way from my entry point all the way to my stop loss, and let's see the gap between the distance between where price got to and my stop loss was less than 1 pip or less than 1.1, 1.5 pip, and the price started pulling back away from my stop loss, and that is how this trade came back into profit all the way here. Now, when this trade came back on into profit all the way here, you know this is my liquidity point, and normally in trading, when price grabs the liquidity point, it pulls back again and comes to locate a demand zone. So I have created my strategy around the way price behaves. Now, after price had taken the liquidity over here and had pulled up a little bit, I broke even on my position because now we had taken the liquidity, and there was a probability that price could come all the way down here. So I broke even on my position, and lo and behold, I risked 0.5% on my account, and price did not came in back into profit and came back into my break-even point and took me off, and that was super amazing. I love what I did. I love how I manage my positions. So the number one lesson I want to share with you as a trader, now when you calculate your risk and you enter a trade, just leave the trade. Because imagine if I had closed the trade around this area, If I had closed the trade around this area or even around this area, thinking that once we are closer to my stop loss, it will hit my stop loss. Then, after price had pulled back all the way here, I would regret the trade that I took. I will regret my actions because I did not stick to the plan. I wouldn't have had the opportunity to break even on the position and keep my risk to myself. So when you enter a trade and you calculate your risk on the trade, allow the trade to run until it either hits your stop loss or it hits your take profit, because you don't know what is going to happen. When price had come all the way closer to my stop loss, I didn't know what was going to happen next. And lo and behold, market pulled back from my stop loss. The same way when you enter a trade and the trade, sorry, the same way when you enter a trade and the trade is closer to your take profit around this area, normally when price gets to our take profits, there is a misbehavior. Normally when price gets to our take profit around the top here, you see price will be pulling, but allow the trade to run to hit your take profit. Now, that was the CHF JPY trade that I took. We are still bullish on CHF JPY, but I'm just waiting for we are still bullish on CHF JPY, but I'm still waiting for an A plus setup. I'm still waiting for an A plus setup. So I want CHF JPY to pull back a little bit into these demand zones. Then I'll take a major trade and I'll hold on to the trade to take nothing less than 4% on that trade. That is how I'm trading the JPY pairs, because the JPY pairs are trending. They are trending markets. So imagine, let me show you something over here. Imagine after I took this trade, I broke even on my position and I kept on holding the position. By now, I would have made 10%. 10% on one trade. 10% on one trade. Is it not amazing? 10%. So I've come to the realization that if you take a good trade, if you take an A plus setup, just allow the trade to run. Just allow the trade to run and take the biggest pips you can take. Okay, that's the one of the best things that I did over here. When I took the trade over here, I allowed the trade to run, and this trade gave me closer to 4%, or I think 4%. Yeah. So that was the trade that I took on CHF JPY, and it was on the Monday. And after that particular day, there were no serious reactions. Okay, so when the market is at the top over here, closer to a liquidity point, I just go in with half positions. I don't go in with my full positions. Okay, so without wasting much time, let's move on to the next trade that I took. Where this trade, the particular trade, I think is CHF. CHF, USD CHF. Now, USD CHF, on this particular trade, I made the biggest mistake I've ever made in my trading. Okay, I've made that mistake before, but that was years ago, and I've stopped making that mistake because now I'm a disciplined trader. But last week it repeated itself. Now, let's see how it repeated itself. The previous weeks I've been taking sales on the USD or the CHF JPY, and trades are literally moving on well with me. So I know we are going to continue coming down. But at times the market does what it wants to do, and it wasn't ready at the moment to pull down. Now let's see the mistake. Now let's move on to the trade that I took and the reasons why I took the trade. Now, price had pulled down here, and I tried to locate a supply zone so that I'll keep on selling. Now, when price jumps into a supply zone, I look for my entry criterias, and until I see my entry criterias, I don't enter the trade. So this trade, I think that particular day I was there I didn't sleep early. I think that particular day I didn't sleep early. It was dawn. Okay, so I took the trade at dawn, which is the first time I did. I hardly take trades at dawn because you don't know what the market is going to do. So I took this trade at dawn that particular day, and because I have been selling, I thought this was the mistake that I made. Now, after I had entered the trade, instead of me believing or thinking that I do not control the market and with that anything can happen, I was insisting that the market must still go my way. Whilst I'm not the one controlling the market, we have big players controlling the market with deep pockets, and we, the retail traders, I keep on saying we just make about 5% of the entire market. No, Now, so when price got closer to my stop loss, this is the mistake that I made. I opened my stop loss from 36 pips to all the way 45 pips, which I hardly do. I opened my stop loss because I was thinking, or I believe the market must still pull down into profit. Once it has not opened that way, imagine I had maintained my 35 pips, I would have saved myself of 10 pips. Now, when the market got to my stop loss, it smashed me and now it's still going up. You understand? So that is the biggest mistake that I make. When you calculate your risk and you put your risk on the trade, just allow it. If it hits your stop loss, now accept it that is a losing trade and come back the next time and enter a trade on your next setup. Now, this particular trade, I wasted about this trade I could have spent only 1%, but because I opened my stop loss, I spent about 1.3 to 1.4% on just one trade. I've just wasted the zero point 0.4 on the trade because I was thinking I can't be wrong. So I'm opening my stop loss. The price should at least come back up here and still come back into profits. And it did not happen that way. So that was the major mistake that I made. Never do that. Never do that again. You don't control the market. When you calculate your risk and you put it on the trade, just allow the trade to run. Okay. So with this trade, and in totality with the CHF JPY trade, which I took the same day, it was a Monday dawn, I was able to break even on the CHF JPY trade. But with this one, I took a losing trade. I was trading CHF, and I thought when CHF is strong here, CHF must be strong here. No, they are separate pairs and they behave separately. I believe you understand what I mean. So these are the two major trades that I took last week. That was my trading performance. Nonetheless, my risk management has always been intact. So literally last week I just lost one trade which I could have avoided in the first place last week. So that was it. I just lost about 1.2 or 1.3 or 1.4% on my account. Right now I am looking at a very, 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 very high probability trade to take that trade to make about 2% or 3 or 4% on my account. Then I'll keep going. So that is my little trading advice for you. If you have stick to the video up to now and maybe you're a beginner trader, you know these mistakes you keep on committing. I have mastered these mistakes, but as humans, one way or the other, at times we jump into in this indisciplines. Okay, now I'm following the CHF JPY trades, and the JPY trades are pairs, are powerful pairs. I'm serious, are powerful pairs. Now USD Mexican peso, I have done analysis on USD Mexican peso. After we took the sales, it price jumped into a demand zone, and I'm hoping for more buys to the upside. So I missed this setup. I In the morning I did wake up early, so it is running. When it pulls back, and I'm so comfortable about it, I'm going to hit the market strong and hope for more pips as far as this trade is concerned. So stick tuned. Let's stay tuned. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, I'm giving you an opportunity to subscribe to the channel because we are always learning. I'm always teaching you. I'm always using my journey to give you what is happening. Okay, so let's stick to this week. I know this week is going to be an amazing week. From now to Friday, we are going to pick a super amazing trade. Even if it's one trade, I'm okay. Just all that I'm looking for is it will give me the percentage that I'm looking for. So July will be good. July will be a good month, a best month, more than June and May had been. Okay, so stick tuned, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'm going to see you in my next video. Peace. Bye.